Junior welterweight champion of the world, Arnold Barboza Jr.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Arnold Barboza Jr. This is In My Garage, presented by DAZN. Boxing for me, I love the sport. What makes me love the sport is, the adrenaline you get, the dedication that you have to put in, the discipline that you have to put in, and also sometimes the sacrifice. I know it sounds crazy, but, I love all of it. I love everything that has to do with it. It keeps your mind strong, keeps your body right, and man, I found love with boxing, man, since I was 5 years old. So, I continue to love it, and I can't wait to get back in the ring. My career, my career has been like a roller coaster, up and down. Starting, from the beginning, man, the smoker fights and being on the same cars with my dad when I was little was a great memory that I'll never forget. In the pros, going to Saudi, and then going to the UK, winning the belt, that was my all-time favorite. Having about 10,000 plus fans just booing me, it was amazing, man. I wish that everyone in their lifetime could witness and feel that. Those are my best memories that I think I have in my boxing career. And I think, the biggest inspirations for me, obviously is my father. He's my, my hero, no cape. He's the one that, not only trained me, but he molded me, to be the man I am today. Taught me responsibility, from a young age. And I think, man, him and God, that's pretty much the only two things that, that gives me inspiration. We're in a beautiful city, I call it, the friendly city of El Monte. We're right here, in the back of me is my mural, which I was honored to get. I love this city, man. I grew up here. The city made me as well. Oh, man, it means a lot, to represent, the Mexican Americans, being Mexican, man. My father's from Jalisco. I couldn't be more proud to, especially in Manchester when I came out, with the flag of Mexico and the flag of the United States. It means a lot to me. So I'm big in my roots. I'm very proud of it, and man, I love being brown. So we got a 1962 all-original Chevy Impala with 100-spoke 13s. I found love with Impalas. Obviously, can never afford one. And soon learned that with hard work, I knew one day I was gonna get one. So I finally got my 1962. I also got another 1964 that's getting redone. So man, very blessed, very humbled. And if you want to come inside, you got an all-original interior as well. I want the Aztec green paint job, with the green interior to match it. Man, like I said, very humble, very blessed, man. This is my car, I love her. It's my baby. Take care better than myself sometimes. So, I love it. Man, and you know what? My first car that I ever owned was a 5.0 Mustang, bro, a Fox body. It was dope, but that was the car that I first owned. Man, I messed that up, And then I went to like a Honda Accord, which I just gave to my father-in-law, bro. So yeah, I still had that bad boy, But yeah, man, I've owned so many cars, But the first one, man, is my Fox body, man. Man, so I remember when I was little, I've always been into the lowrider scene, And I remember I used to always have those little lowrider magazines. And I remember, my dad, he had a 65 Bel Air. But at first I had wanted a bomb. Those are my dream car. Until I started really, getting more into it, and I found in love with the Impalas. 62, 64, and never, did I ever think I was gonna own one. So man, hard work, man, just stick to dedicated, and I'm driving my 6.2, and hopefully my 6.4 soon in the city, So I'm real blessed, man, real humbled, to be able to, enjoy this, man, to enjoy this, and it's like a dream come true. It really is. You know, I like to know what I'm getting, you know, because I buy all the parts, you know, and then I have my buddy, you know, install it and do all the labor on it. But for the most part, man, I let the professionals handle it. You know, I went to car shows when I was young, but I remember going to like the Pomona car show swap meet, you know, a while back too. You know, but I remember, man, I remember going. We have a family that lives in Escondido, and they're all about classic cars, bro. Like back then, they had bombs, they had Impalas. So I remember one time we went over there, man, and they were just hopping their Impalas, bro. That's when I found love with Impalas, bro. You know, they've been around the family for a long time. You know, I don't really like to travel like that too much, you know, but man, like right now, driving with you guys in the city, you know, in the 6.2, man, it's a dream. You know, like this is, you know, when I was a kid, you know, this was a dream of mine. You know what I mean? To own a lowrider, you know, and to drive around the city that I love. You know, and I wouldn't change nothing in the world right now. This is Arnold Barboza Jr. This is In My Garage, presented by AutoZone.